Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're taking a look at Homage watches once again. Two from Pagani Design and two from San Martin. And I know you have, I know the discussion about Homage watches is kind of a wild discussion. What is a Homage? What is a clone? What is a replica, a copy? Is it stealing? Is it borrowing? It's a hot discussion. It's a hot topic. I'm not gonna discuss it much today. I'm gonna give you my opinion of it, just a small bit of my opinion of it. On it, and but not, I'm just here to show you the watches. A good friend of mine sent me these 4 watches. He wanted to stay anonymous, so I'm not gonna say his name, but I'm glad that he exists, and I'm glad that he likes my channel, and I'm really thankful for him sending me these watches for me to be able to show to you guys. So let's not waste any more time. Let's head on over to the table and take a look at these 4 beautiful Homage watches. Affordable, homageable, and yeah, let's go. Okay, so a little paper box here filled with watches, and we're starting off with the first one. Let's put the carton to the side, open up this little pouch here, and within this little pouch we're starting off with Pagani Design. And a strong, good looking from Pagani. People who know, they know. You know what watch this is supposed to look like. I'm gonna give you a hint. It's a Rolex. Sorry, I'm just adjusting my umbrella here. It's a Rolex, and it's a really expensive one at that. Yeah. Look at this nice little chronograph from Pagani. Beautiful, beautiful watch. Yeah, it's stunning. I mean, it's stunning because it looks like the watch that is trying to look like, and that is a stunning watch. It's the Daytona with the kind of a chocolate brown bezel. Let's just move those hands out of the way so we can take a look at the logo. There we go. Screw down crown. Beautiful ice blue or Tiffany blue dial. Let me just zoom in a little. There we go. It's a chronograph. I can start now. Let's talk about the aesthetics at first. As you can see, we have a lot of polishing here, polishing on the lugs, polished on the sides, polished on that side as well. Stamped crown, or at least it's branded. It's a branded crown. The bracelet is a mix of polishing and brushing. Polished center, brushed outer, polishing on the outer sides. The clasp also continues with that brushed and polished combination. Pagani Design written horizontally there. Nice little clasp, folds open like this, and they even have this little mechanism here where it locks in place with this little thingy opening up like that. You open up the clasp, case back. See if we can, there we have it. Pagani Design Sport PD1644 water resistant stainless steel. We have screwed links, which is really impressive on a watch this cheap. We have a little diver's extension there. You can lock it in place. It's kind of a hard thing to do in camera, sorry, but there you lock it in place, and then you can just open it up like that. And we have 3 points of micro adjustments within that clasp, not on the fly, but they are there. Yeah, and it's a chronograph with a date window. You have to screw these pushers out to activate the chrono. There you go. You activate it on the upper button. There you see the chronograph second ticking there. And then you stop it and you reset it. We have the ticking seconds there, and yeah, beautiful watch. Screw in crown. First position doesn't whine it because it's a quartz watch. Second position changes the date, and the third position changes the time. There it is. We have no trouble screwing it in. so it feels really good. As with those pushers, easy to screw in. The pushers and the crown are actually quite substantial, so they're easy to operate. No problems there. Bracelet feels a little, I don't know what to say. Bracelet feels a little, it feels a little light on the touch, but it is, I mean, it is a 110 euros watch, so what do you expect? It looks the part, feels the part, really great looking watch. I'm gonna go through the specs later, but this is the Pagani design PD1644 chronograph quartz in the ice blue color configuration. And the next watch on our little in our little video is another Pagani design, and I know you can immediately see what this watch is trying to look like. Yeah, it's a Omega Speedmaster or Moon Swatch, or yeah, a Omega Moon Watch look-alike, and it's stunning. I mean, my wife really likes the look of this watch, and so do I. That Tiffany blue, ice blue dial combined with that white pearly bezel insert, it looks great. It's a great color combination. And then we have the white hour markers, the white hour hand, second hand, minute hand, the white sub-dial hands. It's a beauty. It's a beautiful, beautiful watch. It's not legible. It's not a legible watch because those markers and those hands sometimes disappear within that dial. But it is a beauty, a true and stunning watch. And we have some polishing and some brushing on those lugs, polished chamfers, brushed sides. The crown is stamped with the Pagani design logo. 2 pushers, they're not screw-in this time. It is a chronograph, but you don't get the screw-in crowns here. And you start the chronograph as with the other watch on the upper pusher, stop it and reset it, and then we have no date on this one. It actually says that there is a date on this one on the website, and all the facts on these watches are taken from PaganiDesignStore.com, and in that store it says that this watch has a date, which it has not. Let's unscrew the crown. It's also a quartz watch, as usually with these chronographs at this price point. They're usually quartz watches. Third position sets the time. Second position doesn't do anything because there should be a date here. So maybe it's a hidden date. Yeah, I think it is because they have the same movement. This one and the Daytona lookalike one, they have the same movement. So there should be a date beneath that dial somewhere. Beautiful, beautiful watch. The bracelet is a Jubilee style bracelet, brushed and polished details all over the place, made to look like the Omega Speedmaster bracelet. And then we have the Pagani design logo. A little difference in the clasp here. It doesn't have that folding lock. It's just 2 pushers to open it up. There we have it. No pressed metal here, just beautiful, really hard metal. And then on a case back, this makes me laugh a little. It's a space rocket flying in space, and then we have, maybe it's Saturn over there, and maybe the moon or Earth, I don't know. This watch has never and will never go to space, but it's trying to be look like a watch that has been to space, so I guess it makes sense in some way, in some world. And yeah, 100 meters of water resistance, and that's quite funny actually, because on this watch has 100 meters of water resistance, and the Daytona here has only 30 meters of water resistance. And that's funny because this watch doesn't have screw-in pushers for the chronograph, but this one has. So maybe this one should have the 100 meters of water resistance and this one should be only 30. I don't know. but it is what it is. And by the way, these watches they were sent to me sized up to my friend's wrist, and he has really small wrists, or I have really big wrists, I don't know, but they're made to fit him, and he didn't send me any spare links, just for one San Martin watch, so I was able to size that one, but I'm not able to size these two guys, so I'm sorry about not being able to show them on the wrist. We took a look at the case back, screwed links on this one as well. Yeah, there was one thing that I did not show you. This watch has 3 points of micro adjustments and diverse extension. It's a larger diverse extension than the Daytona, but it is but it is pressed metal this time. So I guess you win some and you lose some. Pressed metal, diverse extension, 3 points of micro adjustment. Yeah, and that sums this one up as well. Let's head over to the third watch in this little show and tell. Yeah, and now we're stepping it up. Be patient, all the specifications on all the watches are gonna come after this little first initial showing. This here is a San Martin Tudor chronograph lookalike. This one is truly beautiful, and it's well made. You can feel it immediately when you take it out of the package or the box. You feel the weight difference in this watch compared to this watch. You feel the quality difference, and it feels, yeah, San Martin, they're well known for their high quality affordable watches, and their prices have actually gone up a little, and that's well deserved because they make some beautiful, well built, well made watches. This one is no exception. Look at that dial there. Let's screw down pushers here as well. Let's move that chronograph second out of the way a little so that we can this is not a quartz watch. This is an automatic. This is actually a manual mechanical watch with a seagull movement, so we have to give it some juice here before we can show you the chronograph function. There we go. Move it out of the way there, and you can take a look at that San Martin logo right there. I don't know, I've never liked the new San Martin logo. It looks a little too much of a graffiti style for me. It's not stylish. The words are all jumbled up in there, and I don't like the new San Martin logo. That's just me. I don't like it. I prefer the old one, or the one that they use on some of their retro inspired models. This new one, not so much. It is clean. It is nice that they have that little hexagonal logo there and nothing more, and then it just said ST19 100 meters. That's really good. And ST19 is actually the name of the movement. So, but it looks really great. It's not, you might think that this is white on black, but it's actually more like a silver dial, not eggshell white. I don't know if it appears correctly in the camera, but it's kind of a silver dial. Yeah, a silvery dial, and those hour markers are filled with what I would call eggshell white, a little, maybe some kind of a, it's not vintage, it's eggshell white. Yeah, looks beautiful. Anyway, brushed lugs. We have some polishing on the chamfer there, brushed sides, beautiful, really a stamped San Martin logo there. Let's screw those, and let's actually reset the chronograph right back and screw those in. There we go. We have no date on this one, and crown is quite substantial, easy to operate. You give it some juice. It's not a screw-in crown because you give it some juice right there in the first configuration, and then you pop it out one step. That actually sets the time, and there is no other step. There's just that one step. There we go. I'm curious about one thing. I didn't realize that until now, actually. This watch does not feature a running second subdial. There is no subdial to show you the running second. Yeah, there is. I'm stupid. Sorry, I'm really stupid. The left subdial there shows you the seconds. They're ticking away there. And it's a stop second movement, I think, because when you pull it out, the crown, that stops. No, it doesn't. It's not a stopping second. Okay, that's kind of a big deal for some people. When you pull it out to set the time, the seconds keep on ticking, so it doesn't stop the seconds. So it maybe is a little hard to do, setting this watch absolutely correctly. So it's not possible to be done. It is what it is, but nonetheless a beautiful watch. I didn't show you the bracelet here. We have a brushed bracelet, fully brushed, some polishing on the sides there. Screwed bracelet, substantial screws, really easy to operate. And then the clasp looks like that, with that San Martin logo that I do not like. 2 pushers to open it up, no pressed metal here, and a sterile case back. No information whatsoever. So that's it. Specification on this one is coming later, and the last one actually comes with the he didn't want to send me all the packaging for all the watches because that would make a larger paper box, so he just sent me one of these leather San Martin round wallets, pouches. It's a cool little packaging, and you open it up like this. I really like this packaging, even though I don't like the logo. And here we have the crown jewel. I think the most beautiful watch of all these 4 is this one. Yeah, and it's another Tudor look-alike watch in white. It's looking like the Tudor Black Bay GMT, but it is beautiful. Look at that white. It's not really 100% white. It's more like a pearly white, eggshell white, vintage white. I don't know what it's called. Those hour markers are 100% white, as well as the hour hand, minute hand. That's everything in there is white, but the dial is kind of you can see it really in some actual sometimes it almost turns yellowy, but it's mostly white. Beautiful, combined with that stainless steel bezel. It doesn't have a turning bezel. Actually, none of these watches have a turning bezel, but it's beautiful. San Martin logo over there. Crown with the branding, San Martin branding, substantial crown. This is a screw-in crown all the way, because this is actually automatic mechanical movement, so you have to screw out the crown to operate it. First position gives the watch some juice. Second position operates the GMT hand. When you turn it one way, and when you turn it counterclockwise, it operates the date. Take it out maybe we can finish setting the date. There we have it. Taking it out to the third step actually operates the time, the real time. And then we have San Martin branding on the dial, GMT in orange, and that GMT hand is also in orange. Automatic, 100 meters, 330 feet. Almost entirely brushed this watch. We have some nice details with the polishing on the chamfers, with the polishing around that bezel, and then the sides are all brushed on the other side as well. Brushed bracelet, some polishing on the sides there as well. We come down to the clasp. Let's zoom out a little bit. There we have the clasp with the San Martin logo. 2 push pins on this one. Open it up. Substantial metal there, no pressed clasp. Sterile case back as well on this one. Screwed links. 4 points of micro adjustment. I don't know if I forgot to give you it's the same clasp on these 2 watches. The same clasp with the same amount of micro adjustments. 4. So that is the Tudor Black Bay, San Martin Tudor Black Bay, San Martin 39mm GMT mechanical watch. Tudor Black Bay lookalike. And this one I can actually show you on my wrist, but I'm gonna do that I'm gonna do it right now. So I'm wearing the Seiko 5 Sports GMT Yuto Horigome limited edition, all blacked out. Let's take that off. Let's put this baby on. 20 centimeter wrist. This watch both feels and looks fantastic. I'm gonna go through the specifications on each watch in a minute, but the thickness on this one is 13 millimeters, and it feels and looks really slim and really nice on the wrist. Too bad I couldn't show you the other watches on my wrist, but maybe some of you prefer that because some of you really hate my tattoos. So this is the only one. Sometimes I think that a colored watch with a lot of colors blends in nicely with my tattoos, but sometimes I think that a white watch really gives the watch a nice contrast and makes it stunning. So I'm really liking the looks of this one. 20 centimeter wrist. Yeah, and the diameter on this one is 39 millimeters, but it looks fantastic. Okay, so there we have them. 4 watches, 4 different Homage watches, and I think we're going to head on over to the specification part of the video, and then we'll come back. And yeah, so let's head on over to the specifications. Yeah, this is the Pagani design PD1644 chronograph quartz ice blue color configuration. Beautiful watch, and here are the specifications. The movement is the Seiko VK63 quartz movement. It has a diameter of 40 millimeters, a thickness of 12 millimeters, lug width is 20 millimeters, lug to lug is 47.5 millimeters. We have a weight of 134 grams. Sapphire crystal, water resistance is 30 meters, ceramic bezel insert, chronograph, and a date window between the 4 and the 5 o'clock. And this one will cost you 110 euros if you buy it from the PaganiDesignStore.com. And here we have the beautiful and stunning Pagani design PD1701 quartz moon ice blue and white version 4. That's what it's called on PaganiDesignStore.com. The movement is a Seiko VK63 quartz movement. Diameter 40 millimeters. Thickness is 14 millimeters on this one, so it's a little bit thicker than the Daytona. Lug width 20 millimeters, lug to lug 47.5 millimeters. The weight is 138 grams. We have a sapphire crystal. Water resistance is 100 meters. Ceramic bezel insert, chronograph function, and it says that it has a date on the website, but it does not have a date at all, as you saw on that dial. Beautiful watch, really fun to look at, and it will cost you 130 euros if you buy it at PaganiDesignStore.com. Nice looking watch. Yeah, let's head over to the next one. And then we head on over to San Martin. This is the San Martin 40 millimeters Panda BB chronograph white. Model name SN052-G-GS. That's what it's called on the website, sanmartinwatches.com. The movement inside this one is a Seagull ST1901. It says ST19 on the dial there. It's a manual mechanical movement. The diameter is 40 millimeters, 41 if you include the bezel there. The thickness is 14 millimeters, so it's kind of a thick boy. Lug width is 20 millimeters. Lug to lug is 49.5, so it's quite a substantial watch actually. The weight is 159 grams. It has a sapphire crystal with AR coating, ceramic bezel insert, a water resistance of 100 meters. We have the loom is BGW9 and C3 green, so it's a combined loom. 2 years warranty on this watch, and it costs you $335 US on sanmartinwatches.com. And the last watch we're talking about today is the San Martin 39mm GMT mechanical watch. Model name SN0054-G2-GMT. The movement inside this beautiful watch is the Hangzhou 6460. It's an automatic movement, mechanical. And the diameter on this one is 39mm. Oh, sorry, it's really cold, so my hand is a little slippery here. 39mm for the diameter. Thickness is 13mm. Lug width is 20mm. Thickness 13, lug width 20. Lug to lug 48.3mm, so it's smaller than the Daytona. Weight 147 grams. It has a top hat sapphire with AR coating. The water resistance is 100 meters. The loom is BGW9, and it comes with a 2-year warranty, and it comes at a price at $349 US. So the most expensive watch that I have been showing you today, but some might say the most beautiful one as well. Okay guys, so these are the 4 that we had featured in the video today, and my personal favorite of these 4 is actually this one. I'm really liking the looks of this one. It's such a fun watch, and it's really affordable, inexpensive, cheap, some might say, in the positive meaning of the word. It gives you a lot of watch for the money. I mean, it's fantastic that we get sapphire, crystal on all of these, quartz chronograph from Seiko, and then we have real mechanical movements on the other 2 for the price point that they're at. It's really fantastic, and that's the beauty with these kinds of homage watches. You get a lot of watch for your money, and this is my favorite of the 3. If I would to rank them, I guess I would rank them like this. The Speedmaster is my favorite, and then we would have the Tudor Black Bay GMT, and then we would have the Tudor Chrono, and then the Daytona last. This is the way that I would rank these watches. How would you rank them? Which one of them would you put in the top spot, and which one do you like the least? Please let me know in the comments. I actually started collecting with homage watches. Not really, because my first really luxury watch was a Breitling Chronomat Evolution. That's not a homage watch, but that was the first really expensive watch that I bought, and it started my interest for the watch world. I've really loved watches all my life, from the first Casio that my parents bought me, but the real interest for collecting watches started with my Breitling. And then the watch that I thought was the most beautiful watch I've ever seen was the Rolex Pepsi GMT, when they released the new model with the ceramic bezel insert. I loved the look of that watch, the combination of red and blue, and I wanted to save up and buy it, but then I thought it was a little too small, 40mm, and I thought it was way too expensive. So I started collecting watches that looked like the Rolex Pepsi. I started with Seiko. They have a bunch of watches with the blue and red color combination. That was the most important thing for me. Blue and red combined with stainless steel. Beautiful. So I started collecting Seikos, and I went over to San Martin, and then I found out that there were even cheaper alternatives that really looked like the watch that I liked. The Pagani designs, the San Martins, the Chronos, the Cadison, whatever insert brand, Chinese brand here. Really highly spec'd watches for a cheap price, and really looks like the watch that you like to buy. So that's the way I started my journey. That's the way this channel started, and it was me trying to find the perfect one, and then realizing that the perfect one was actually the original one, and saving up and buying the original one. And I always come to that conclusion: there is no perfect one. until I get the original one, because everything else is just filling up space it's filling up space, but it doesn't satisfy that scratch for the original. So yeah, that's basically it. My opinion. Yeah. So, don't get me wrong, I really like Homage watches. I really appreciate that there are these cheap alternatives that give you a feel of the watch that you really like, but it's not the watch that you really like, because that costs way too much. And there are watches that are really unattainable. Even if I saved up for 10, 20 years, there are beautiful, beautiful watches that I could never afford, or even if I could afford them, I could never, I could never give myself enough reason to spend that kind of money on a watch when you have a family and a house and all the obligations that those things mean. So it's perfectly fine that they exist, and there are. I don't blame people buying them. I don't say that they're copies. I don't say that they're replicas. I really like Homage watches. I mean, we even started our Facebook group based on allowing Homage watches like Pagani design to be allowed in our group. We really like them and appreciate them. But there's a reason that I don't have any in my collection at the moment. I buy them occasionally and film them, but then they leave. Because the thing is with me, this is just a personal opinion, this is just my opinion, is that they never seem to satisfy anything within me. I mean, when I buy like when I bought my Rolex Pepsi GMT, that was a big sacrifice for me, for my savings account, and just to buy that watch, it meant something. It meant a lot of work. It meant a lot of savings going to one thing that's really unnecessary. And that even every time I put that watch on my wrist, it means something. It makes me feel like I sacrificed something to buy that watch. And even when I buy a Tudor watch, those are really expensive watches. Even for me, I mean, even the Seiko Yuto Horigome watch that I bought recently, $750. That's a lot of money, and it feels like something. So first of all these Homage, Chinese Homage, cheap, affordable watches, they're great, but they don't mean any sacrifice for me. And that's why they don't mean anything for me. I mean, I like them. I like the look of them. I appreciate that they're well built, well spec'd and everything. I'm astonished on what the quality they give you for that low amount of money. But they don't mean anything. I don't sacrifice anything to buy them. I could buy a Pagani design. I think I could buy like 5 or 6 Pagani designs every month without any hesitation. Maybe not, maybe 4, and that the easy access to them, the cheapness of them, makes, I don't know if I'm making any sense here, but it makes them less important to me in the end. I don't know, I'm just talking out of my ass here. I'm just trying to make sense. But there's one more reason that I don't really keep Homage watches like these in my collection, and that's basically that they have no history behind them. They have no. You can never find. I mean, who even owns Pagani design? Who's the owner? Is he a watch collector and lover, or does he have any aspirations to revolutionize the watch industry? I mean, and why was the first Pagani design manufactured? Was it to head to the moon, or was it to help pilots navigate different time zones, or was it to dive as deeply into the ocean as you can? No, most of these brands just make watches that look like other watches so they can make money. There's no more history to it than that. There's no person, no face you can attach to the brand, and there's no history behind the brand. I get it, all brands start fresh, but these, I mean, they're not trying to do anything. You cannot read about why the San Martin Black Bay Chrono was developed, and what the aspirations were, and what the dream of the company was when they made that watch. They made it to look like another watch. It's basically the same story with every watch in this category. They're made to look like other watches. There's nothing deeper to it than that. No history, no motivations, no backgrounds behind it. And that makes them kind of boring. Sure, they give you the look for a cheap amount of money, but they don't give you anything else than that. And I've come to the point in my collecting journey, as they call it, that I have to have something more, even if it's a micro brand like Nezumi from Stockholm. It's a guy. I see the guy, I get his passion, I can hear his story he's talking about his story, and he's making a homage watch, but taking different aspects from other watches and putting together his own watch. That's something tangible, that's something that I can listen to and be inspired by. With these watches, not so much. They're great, but there's nothing more than the look and the affordability. Those are my opinions on Homage watches. So, as usual, if you liked this rambly-bambly video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. Tell me what you didn't like, and I'll try to do better to the next one. And if you really loved it, please consider subscribing. That means a lot to me. I love to see the channel growing, and yeah, it's really wonderful that you even watch these videos. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you again, my friend. Bye-bye.